When quitting alcohol, is going to AA meetings a good thing or a bad thing? This is by far the most controversial video I have made on the subject, and I'm going to just start off straight away with saying, yes, it's a good thing. But let's get into this. So over the course of the last 19 videos that I've made on this subject of me documenting my process of quitting alcohol yet again in my life and trying to make this the one that sticks for good, I have had quite a few comments pop up saying, hey man, why don't you just make your life easy and go to AA? There's been a few of these in different variations where people are saying, just do the AA thing. Stop beating around the bush. Stop trying to do this thing yourself. To which everybody that has said this and anybody that's thought this, I agree with you. I think that is the right way to go about it. And in fact, that is how my journey started. I have made a video on this already, my experience with AA at 23 years old already. And I'm not going to retread that now, because instead I want to look at why am I making this decision to do this instead of that? And is that an idea for you too or not? In simple terms, I want to say what makes me different, what exempts me from the advice I want to give out. And I have two main things to cover here. The first one is what I'm doing right now. I have been working with cameras, talking to camera. I have this experience for a long time already, and this gives me a new opportunity. Most people I know don't feel comfortable talking to a camera. Most people I know don't feel comfortable putting themselves on camera and then putting it out onto the internet. I mean, I'm not entirely comfortable with all of this all the time, but I am willing to do it. I don't have to learn how to put up a quick setup, put up a camera, and agonize over scripts for ages. I generally have something I want to say, and then I get to the camera and I say it. But I have been practicing this for a long time. But this affords me a fairly effortless way to start a journey, a process of healing old problems and dealing with this sobriety as a topic, on a deeper level than just sitting there and thinking about it. I am actually diving into this on a deeper and deeper level all the time. And as a result of these videos, I'm getting more and more and more people commenting. As of now, I've had over 100 comments that I've replied to of people sharing their stories, thanking me for this, for my honesty and all that kind of thing, thanking me for the honesty of the journey that I'm revealing to you, that this isn't some hyped up kind of production of like, look, my life is great. No, this is the reality of it. This is the struggle. And with that, I'm connecting with people. I've even exchanged emails with people over these videos already. I am forming a group of support where I deal with the problem. What I mean by that is, and I have made another video about this, that there are two types of support. You can get support from those people in your life that don't have a drinking problem, and then you can get people support who understand what you're going through, who also have this problem. And I, in my life, have both of those. I have a family and I have friends and I have a partner who are all in support of me going down this path. And then I also have this community that is building around these videos that I have made. You can check out that video here, but the point is, because I'm making these videos, I'm getting the support that I need. I am fundamentally making this easy for myself. I am feeling not alone. And that is key for this process to continue and kind of gain forward momentum. Then the second reason why this is slightly different for me is because I work in self-development. I work for a company where day in and day out, I work with the concepts of improving oneself. I make content around this. I edit content for other channels. I work in accountability groups. I work with this stuff all the time. I basically already have weekly calls with people. They're not AA meetings, sure, but they are support meetings and they are development and growth meetings. So honestly, I don't need another support meeting. I've already got this, my community, and I have weekly accountability calls with other people that I host. So all in all, the only reason I don't go to AA is because I am already extremely proactive in my own personal development and in my sobriety journey. And if your situation doesn't resemble mine or doesn't look anything near mine, then going to a meeting like that is, of course, a very good option, and I can only recommend it. So those people that have pointed it out, I completely agree with you. It is a good option, and like I said, it is the thing that I did right in the beginning, and it really helped kickstart me in the right direction. However, and this is where we're going to get just a little bit more controversial, because it's not so much about me, but my general opinion of the idea of staying in support groups around a problem like alcoholism or any other addiction for that matter. And please note, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a psychologist, a psychiatrist, none of the above. I'm just a guy going through the stories, and these are my experiences. So this is my opinion, and I'm expecting some pushback from what I'm about to say next. I think that being in a problem-focused group for a short period of time, especially in the beginning phase of going through something challenging, is ideal. However, after a certain period of time, I think it becomes counterproductive, and it makes sense to join other groups that are more solution-orientated. Here's an example of how that would look, metaphorically speaking. You're sitting in a room and you're thinking about the problem. Oh, I need to quit alcohol. I want to quit. I need to quit the thing. I need to get rid of it. And I'm going to try this thing, and I want to be sober. And you do all these things about thinking about quitting and wanting to get away from alcohol and alcohol and alcohol. And the word just keeps coming up. And as long as you're sitting in this room, you're sitting with the problem, you're dealing with the problem, and the problem is part of your reality. But there is a potential to go into another room where you think about something else. Think about solutions, think about alternatives. Say, for example, I want to improve my surfing, and I sit in a room and I think about surfing, and I think about what I want to do and how the next session is going to go and how I'm going to find friends to do it and what fitness programs I can join and what tricks I can learn and who can I invite next time and how do I get to the beach more often. And I'm sitting in the room and I'm thinking about surfing and surfing and surfing. Yes, I'm obsessing. I get that. It is an obsession. It's compulsive behavior, but it is compulsive behavior on something that is positive in my life. Now, of course, this is a black and white example. I don't think compulsive thinking is something you should strive towards. But to make my point is, it's better to be solution-focused rather than problem-focused forevermore. And this is where AA gets just a tiny little bit ambiguous for me, because although, of course, it has solution-orientated gatherings and focus points, it does also come together and remember that we are alcoholics. Remember that I am an alcoholic, and you carry that for life, and that is just part of the motto. That's part of the way it goes, and that's fine. For some people that is fine, but that didn't quite work for me. I definitely want to move past this. It's always there. If somebody asks me, do you have a problem with drinking, I can say yes, no, I definitely I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm not ashamed to say that. But it's not something that I feel that I need to continuously remind myself. I'm quite okay with just letting it kind of atrophy in my mind to the forgotten places, while I'm focusing on more positive things in a new direction and building up those connections and building up a new life where that just doesn't come up that often. So for me, going there and dealing with the problem initially for a time is perfect. But then I would want to graduate to something more like a surfers club, a runners club, a chess club, a writing club, pick something that you're passionate about, an entrepreneurs club, a video makers club, whatever. Rather focus on something you can evolve and get good at and be proud of. Again, this is not for everybody. Some people have had a more abusive and a longer history of problems with alcohol, maybe much more severe than mine. So sure, this advice might not be applicable to everybody. This is just the way that I've experienced it and what I would like to plan to do going ahead. But now, is me making videos like this not actually hypocritical then? Because aren't I being problem focused in these videos? Even though I'm talking about the solutions, I'm still dealing with the problem, right? I'm not talking about other things. I would say yes, that's right. In a sense, I am being hypocritical, but it's normal because I'm in my early phase. I'm in group. I'm going through the part where I basically am allowed to be problem focused for a longer period of time. And that is because being problem focused is just part of the journey. You've got to. All the introspection exercises that I talk about, all the self-awareness and the self-forgiveness and all the things that you need to have in place to be able to get through relapses and to get through difficult times, these come from studying yourself, from introspecting. And what is that but just a version of problem orientation? You're dealing with the problems within yourself. And that is good to do, and that is good to document, and that is good to process. Not just once off, but ongoing, but it's not everything. It's only a piece of the puzzle. And so what this means for me is that, yes, I have made 19 videos, this being my 20th video, and I think it's time for me to close this chapter. I do have one more video that I would like to make, which is after this one, which is just the wrap up. It's basically a short and condensed version of everything that I've said, condensed down to one short and succinct, usable message that I can use for myself to remind myself of the tools I have available. And of course, this will be useful to other people too. And I'm doing this for two reasons, really. The one is everything I've just mentioned, that it's time for me to move on. And this is my personal channel. This is not I'm building an alcohol quitting brand. I have no intention of doing that here. I have an intention of sharing my life experiences on this channel, which is going to go into other problems for a while. Maybe I'll be talking about workaholism, or the challenges of being in a relationship, or the challenges of wanting to get out into nature more often, whatever. We'll see what comes. The point is that I'm going to move away from alcohol. And if that means people unsubscribe and don't want to be part of this, that's fine. Go for it. I have no problem with that. I made these videos for myself, and if they continue to help people, there is a playlist, and it ends with a wonderful summary of all my takeaways. And of course, if this comes up again, if something happens, if I learn something new, I can share that in the future. Doesn't mean I'm never allowed to make another one. But what I'm saying is my focus is going to shift, and I'm going to focus on other things. And this is exactly why it ties in with my opinion of why I'm not going to AA meetings. First of all, I don't really need them with all the support that I have around me. If you don't have that, go to them. Use them, learn from them, use them to introspect, use them to have community. But then on the other side, I also want to start transitioning now into a more solution-orientated life rather than continuing to focus on the problem. And that means I'm not going to make more of these videos. So this pretty much wraps up all my thoughts and rambles on the alcohol quitting process, which has been going on for just over 5 months now, with one little slip in the middle. Recovered from that completely thanks to your support too. The comments have been amazing. Thank you for everything that has come from that. And yeah, if you want to continue this journey with me, I don't know where it's going, but feel free to remain subscribed, or subscribe if you're seeing this for the first time. And yeah, come along for the ride. I don't know where it's going, and that's exactly what I want, the adventure that has been missing. So thank you again. Next video is the sum up, and then we're on to new and bigger and greater things. Thank you.